Hey, girl. Hey. Welcome. I had to pick this up. Welcome to Two Dogs Digs and our road trip, reseller road trip review. This was something we actually found for $3.99 at a thrift store when we were down there. But of course, I had to get it. Of course, I had to get it. So will I sell it? I have no idea. For now, we'll just sort of hang it in its place of honor just behind me there. I know you won't be able to see it, but it's going to maybe take the place of Divine in a little while. So welcome to our... Oh, where did it go? Come on, share. Let's see, how am I going? Where's this going? Let me see. Comments. Hey, everyone. Just trying to get this other... There we go. Add to stream. And let's see. Why are you not streaming? We're not supposed to. You're supposed to be adding to the stream. Okay, let's go like this. Let's get you out of here. So I'm trying to present something and show you the extra screen, and it's not sharing the extra screen. So let me just... Oh, that is really weird. Tonight, it's not showing me the extra screen that it's supposed to be showing. That is a... Oh, there we go. Oh, it just popped in. It just scared me like that. It usually doesn't take that long. Thanks so much, everybody, for popping in to see us tonight. It's the garage sale and estate sales and flea markets. Oh, my. It's our Start the Car road trip roundup. Good Dog will be joining me downstairs shortly. A big hello to everybody who's joined us in here tonight, especially a big hello to one of our newer members, Luette. Thanks for joining us here on the Two Dogs Digs Kennel Club. And again, big thanks to everybody who does support us here. It's $3 a month. Hopefully, we'll give you some ideas on the things that you might want to look for when you're out. I'll give you some tips and tricks that may make you a little extra money. So that $3 is it's less than a latte. So it's got to be bought. Well, it doesn't have to be bought. But here's Nellie, first in, Janet. Hey, Janet. Lisa, Kevin. Hello, Susan. Diana. Hey, Kendra. Sherry is on Pacific time, so she's only watching a little bit. She's on an extra week of vacation. I'm broadcasting this one tonight actually in both live on YouTube, but I'm also doing it live on the Craft group, in our Facebook group, Craft, Canadian Resellers group. So if you are watching in the Craft group, we won't be able to see who you are. I think you can comment still, but it's just going to show up as Facebook user. So if you are in there, then you have to just go to this little thing, StreamYard.com, Facebook, and then you'll be able to actually comment on it. Don, Michael, Greg's just back from Clarence. That's where we were too. I'm surprised we didn't see you there. How did I get the IKEA lady in your car? It was easy. You just yell, "Start the car!" and this woman shows up just out of the blue. It's like,
I'm very dark, aren't I?
You're very dark down there. Let's see. Yeah, you're very dark in the dark here.
Why am I so dark?
Thanks for watching. I'm glad you enjoy them. We actually enjoy making them. And yeah, it is what you can do when you're retired. You can take the extra time, luckily. And we're not retired. We're resellers. We don't really retire. It's still just us being doing it all. Hey, Candace and Elisa. Don't cross the streams like in Ghostbusters. But yes, thanks so much. You're still dark, a bit dark.
Well, I'm trying.
Is the lights above you? That's now you're Ghost Whisperer light. So,
is that better?
Maybe turn the big light on above you.
It is.
No, not that one. The other one. The one on the desk. The one in front of you. Oh God. He's sitting in the seat that he usually sits.
Better.
That's better.
You have a light in the center of the room.
Yes.
Let
so,
there be
yes,
light.
we have for 20 years. We've had a light there. So.
Okay, I'm the only person on Facebook right now, so.
Well, that's okay. Again, I don't know whether anybody. We just have a broadcast there. We've got about 200 new members to the Craft group in the past couple of months. So we thought we might broadcast as well there in case people don't come to our YouTube channel. Hey, Holly.
Clap on.
So
I don't work that way.
So this weekend we did a 4-day holiday trip, estate sale, flea markets, estate sales, and garage sales. And we had a lot of fun. And actually, the weather was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it actually cooperated. It wasn't too sticky hot.
Yeah, a little at times.
It wasn't too bad though. I could get into the car. I stayed in the car a lot on Saturday.
Yeah.
But
yep, the craft group is on Facebook. It's also known as the Crazy or Canadian Resellers and Fantastic Thrifters Group, or as we sometimes call it, there it is. There, you can just look Canadian Resellers up.
I'll post
there.
a link.
I did just now. And it's also Crazy Resellers. We got about 2,500 people there, Louette, and that sort of joins into here in tandem, and it's for resellers of all kinds. The the IKEA lady was sitting on Rick's lap. No, she wasn't. I just thought that was a cute image. I was trying to get an image up here for us to put on. So we, I don't know. Adrian just messaged us, Rick. I don't know if you can see that. I just got a message from him on Facebook, but I don't know where he is. So today we're talking about our finds, and this is actually a little sort of preview. This is what we came back with. A couple of boxes, just a couple, or again, a couple more. There's actually some that are on the side that I didn't take a picture of. And I think there's a couple more which were a little on the larger side, which is this here, including this hammock, this double hammock, this cart, this fabulous owl lamp, and this thing that Rick bought, which we'll show you a little more later, this like weird looking thing here that Rick bought. So the big lamp, the tri-lamp has already been ours and stayed with the brass on the back. So, but yeah, that's some of the stuff that we found. He actually has the owl lamp right behind him. You can just see his behind his head. There it is. There it is. That was something we actually found at a place called Clarence. Oh, you have those lamps?
It's a heavy lamp.
It is a very heavy lamp.
I had to carry it back to the car by my little self without the cart. Boy, were my arms tired.
Andrew's saying you have to be careful with the box. If you lean alone, if you leave them alone too long, they multiply, just like bunnies. It's very true. Oh, Holly's got a estate sale this week. Her guy says there are 12,000 items. It's a little further for us to end up driving to, I'm sure. But we love things like that. So yeah, it is a chalkware owl. I think it is quite heavy, and it's something that we picked up at Clarence. But this is what I wanted to chat a little bit with you about. So it's a mix of everything that we're talking about. We love going on these things. So what we normally do on the Friday, we go in the morning, we try and hit garage sales, and in the afternoon we try and hit estate sales. Then on the Saturday, we do the same thing, garage sales in the morning, estate sales in the afternoon. And we try and look and see if there's an estate sale we want to go to, like first or thing along those lines. Oh my God, you just quoted Anchorman, Rick. You hate that movie, and you just quoted Anchorman.
No, Don said, I love
Rick
lamp.
Belanger, you love lamp. Oh, you quoted Don, who quoted Anchorman. Okay, well, it's sort of an indirect. He hates that movie. He hates that movie. The sales that we went to were all in upstate New York. So up in the Buffalo, Niagara Falls, Jamestown area. That's where we sort of circulated there. Yeah, Hercules. So yeah, you made him say something. Look what you made him do. Look what you made him do. He's paying no attention to me right now. He hasn't actually for most of the weekend. Every time I asked him something on the weekend, he completely ignored me. When I said, hey, what do you think about this? I'd hear nothing. I'd say, what do you think about this? He'd say nothing. I'd say, hello. And he'd go, what? And I'd go, I'm talking to you.
Why are you still talking to me? You know that I don't want to talk, and you're forcing me to talk.
Pew, 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 pew. So we went actually to go across the border. We've never tried this. We went across the border on Friday morning. Normally we go across on Thursday night. We do 2 days. As a Canadian, we get to bring $800 back across the border with us, as long as we stayed 48 hours. So it's one of those things that we like to do. We stay down there for the 2 days. Yes, it costs us a couple $100 for the hotel rooms, but it allows us to not really concern ourselves with trying to grab something and come back. We do know people, somebody that we actually know who went across Sunday morning for the flea market that actually Greg mentioned, the Clarence Flea Market. She got up at 3:30 in the morning from Toronto to drive across to Clarence to get there for 6 to then drive back in like at 11 o'clock in the morning. So share fines. Are there ever types of estate sales in the GTA like those in the US? I've only seen estate sales as auctions.
Very few. There are very few estates.
There were before COVID. You probably could find 2 or 3 a month. Not nearly as many as there are in the States or in a lot of other cities in the US. The thing that's interesting is actually, and this, I'll see if I can find this. Hold on, I got. So this is actually where we find our estate sales. So if you are in the US, if you're going to the States, this is estatesales.net. And estatesales.net is an amazing place to look up estate sales, because what you can do is you literally go in here, and I'll show you a perfect example. We'll go in here. We put the zip code that we want to go to. In our case, it's Buffalo, New York. So Buffalo, New York, and then it pops in all of the estate sales that are coming up. You can sort on it based on how many days are away. Like you can say, well, I want to just see this week, or I want to see the next 3 weeks. And then you can see whether they're estate sales only, moving sales, online estate sales, auction houses, all sorts of stuff like this. So,
well, look, grandma's moving.
I know. So this is actually, it's a list, and the people who do the estate sales put them on here. And yeah, family run estate sales can usually be fun and find a lot more stuff in them. Don said, I never see them here in Southwestern Ontario. It's online auction or yard sale. That's about it. Yeah. And again, what we were saying is, I'll go back to this estate sales, is it seems to be more difficult to find. You can look them up. Look up in Ontario. It's Ontario Antique Advertiser or something like that. Type estate sales into Facebook, and you may find something locally. You will find that locally no matter where you go. So if you're in the States, again, if you travel, hey Carl, if you travel, just go to Marketplace on your Facebook page. And when you're traveling, here's the little easy thing to cheat on. You go to Facebook, and when you hit the Marketplace, I haven't got it linked up right now. So you hit the Marketplace, and you can see where it says Toronto, Ontario. Rick, can you make me bigger? It says Toronto, Ontario. What you're able to do is click on that and change where it is that you want to be. So I can actually go down here, and I can say right now, I want to look there, and I want to apply that new thing. And now it's going to change all my Marketplace picks to things around Thorold. If I wanted to actually see something that is, let's zoom back down in here. I'm looking in Baltimore, Maryland now, because I happen to be flying there. I'm not, but if I was flying there we go. So you can see Baltimore, Maryland. And again, then once you go in there, I'm doing the little cheat sort, and then I even have in here estates. So this is picking up estate sales that are in Baltimore, Maryland right now. That's the nice thing about an easy way to do this on Facebook. So something you might want to try, but you can look at it for, like Lisa, you can look at it for Winnipeg. You can look at it for north of you. You can, if you're in London, you can check London. You can check other places. So it's a great, if you're in the US and you're traveling, like Sherry happens to be now, Sherry deals in jewelry, and she happens to be on the West Coast. She's from the East Coast or middle. But now she's there. She can actually go into Facebook and see if there's any estate sales going on near her in the West Coast. So it's a nice little extra thing. Or you can do what I was saying here, which is go to estatesales.net. The nice thing about this is you can go through this and actually find things. A lot of them put in pictures. So in this particular case, you can go and say, okay, calling all guys, this one is for you. 200 pictures. And you get to go, this is a 3-day sale. And you get to take a look at a lot of the stuff that is actually going up for sale. Now, one of the things that we've done with stuff like this is we've then made a decision on the Tuesday or Wednesday that we have to go down to the States. Why? Because we've seen some gigantic sale that we don't want to miss. If that 12,000 item sale was this Friday and we weren't planning to go to the States, what would we be doing this Friday, Rick?
Getting up early and driving down.
You can also look up individual things for people. So this is somebody that I actually follow, which is a woman. This is an individual website. This happens to be, her name is Nettie Stimson. She doesn't post on estatesales.net. She posts only in her own website. So this happens to be, I get emails. I signed up for emails. And this was one of the first things that we went across for. This was a big sale. We were looking at it, and I just started looking at some of the pictures in there. It's off center. Sorry, that's just how it ends up working on this screen. I don't think I can make it bigger. I guess I can there. That's the best I can do to it. So we were looking at this, and I'm seeing like boxes and boxes. And this is the thing we kind of like. That. Tables. Tables full of things. Tables and shelves full of things. Boxes full of things. So this is actually the very first thing we did when we crossed the border on Friday. We went to this particular thing. Now, that's too fancy for us, but I go a little further, nutcrackers. And as I get through this, you'll start seeing into the basement. I know I'm going fast. I'm just trying to get to the basement photos. Clothing, all sorts. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back here, go back to pictures, and find the basement photos that I want to show you. Here we go. So this happened to be a political thing. So this was a bathroom. This is the basement. You can see all these games. Big lot of games. So this is what we look at. And we can see in here there's Superman. There's all these different things. Half of this stuff was still there when we got there at noon. There were also... This is actually... I'm going to show you some of this. This is all of paper. Everything in here was books and paper. And we ended up spending some money on the books and paper. Elephant ornaments, and then political stuff. All this political stuff. Hats, pins, T-shirts, you name it. They had so much political stuff in there. Those chairs we were going to buy. They were $10, but then we decided they were too big. So you can see this is the kind of thing we love when we see stuff like that. Going at all that sort of stuff. And yeah, we love looking at under the boxes that are there. And it was, yeah, Dawn, I did say paper, yes. School chairs, yes. They actually, one of the seats had scraped into it, like, Kathy loves Bobby. And then on another seat it said, like, Francis loves something. I can't remember what it was. So it was all over.
3 of those. They had a set of 3 other metal school chairs. I don't know what they were doing in that basement, maybe indoctrinating young Republicans.
But this was the very first thing that we actually saw at that sale. We didn't even get into the sale. This was actually out on their lawn. This little cart, vintage little cart, with a $4 price tag on it. And we hadn't even got to the top of the driveway. And we were rolling that thing up to the table where you pay, saying, this is ours. We're going to come back and put stuff out on this thing. Right, Rick?
Yep. And we did.
And we did.
That was also to make up for the Costco cart that we didn't get at the other estate.
Yeah, so we were at another estate sale prior to that. And there was, so there's a cart that Rick talks about all the time that he sees on mid-century modern clothes or mid-century modern boards. So come to me. So yeah, it was really, really fun stuff that we could find in there. And I'm just trying to see if I got the pictures of it. And I've got some stuff that's behind me, and Rick's got a couple of things behind him that we're going to end up showing you. This is actually, since I showed you that Nettie Stimson thing, this is the paper that we got. Now, this paper was sitting in there, and everything in, yes, it was a Costco cart with the electoral, and we did not buy it. And I wanted to go back for it, Rick wouldn't let me. But this whole thing, everything in here was in their 50 cent. Rick, make me bigger, please. In their 50 cent thing. So, and at the end of the day, we brought all of this stuff up, this entire bag up, and she gave us the entire bag for $3. But I just want to show you some of the fun stuff that we got from there. Some just, Diana, I got a book for you, The Witch's Christmas. This was just so weird. I had to pick this up. Sniff poems. Yes, you can scratch and sniff a Scholastic Scratch and Sniff book. I don't want to sniff anything right now. Another witch book. Pebbles and Bam Bam. The Sesame Street book of people and things. But it's not just that. It was this that got my attention. All of this vintage.
You're going too fast.
Am I? Sorry. I'm trying. Who said that? You did?
I did. You're like whizzing things by the screen. They're not.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going so fast.
Now, slow down a little, buckaroo.
Yes, we will be doing an ephemera show on Whatnot soon, and part of the reason we did it is because of this. So this is a batch of just paper, and I want to just show you a few of the things that were in here that I just thought were so funky. And these cost us like, basically, they're so big. A lot of them are folding out posters.
Pennies. They cost us.
They cost about 10 cents. Like, this is a weird ass poster. It's a long poster. Milk made the difference in the size of the rats. This is just a weird. Milk makes the difference in the size of your piggies. That's like, I'm probably going to cut this into 4 as opposed to keeping it as a single. This is a beef poster, and it's got, oh no, this isn't the beef poster. Like, look at this stuff. This is just so neat. Such old vintage things that we're looking at.
And surprisingly, the paper didn't have any must.
No, it's not musty. Not musty at all.
A couple of the games did.
Living caution signs. The very old, the very young. Watch how you're driving. So again, this is filled with this stuff. 50s and 60s paper and posters. And you know, we love those. And the nice thing is when you've got things like that, Halloween coming up, so we picked up anything that was like that. Cartoons or pop culture. And yeah, in here, I read this. Babar and Father Christmas, which surprisingly it was in Buffalo, and I don't usually see Babar stuff in Buffalo. Showtime coloring book. It's actually uncolored in. The Brady Bunch coloring book, which is really badly colored on. Astronauts. So just a bunch of interesting stuff. And this entire bag.
This was way before you showed the Babar.
I know, that was the Babar book. That's why I brought it back out. This entire bag, she ended up bringing this entire bag up for us for $3. So basically, I'm paying about 10 cents a piece for the stuff that we've got in there. But what you gotta love is when you're seeing an actual garage sale that looks like this. This is one of the first garage sales that we drove up to, and it was just a driveway filled with stuff. And when you see a driveway filled with stuff, it's great. When you see, wait, I gotta find it. When you see this at the front of a driveway, I just think it's hilarious. This kid decided he would just sit behind his.
It's like he was being punished.
He just. So he was hiding. He was just literally sitting like that at the end of the driveway, just for no reason at all. You see some weird things. This happened to be the plush was actually on the driveway. It was very dry. They had just got it out of the attic, and I picked up about 5 plush things. They were all Star Wars plush. But this was a sale in this same neighborhood. So we went to this one neighborhood. We just happened to be driving towards something. This was after we'd been to the Nettie Stimson sale. And we were driving towards something, and this was probably around 11. Oh, actually, was this on Friday? Yeah, no, this was on Friday.
It was Friday.
Or was it on Saturday? No, it was Saturday morning. This was Saturday morning. And we hit these first. This happened to be at one of the garage sales we went to. And again, it didn't pick this up, but this is cute. I love when you find fun things like this. This is a tire dragon. And I'm just an old tired garden dragon in search of a new garden home for some needed rehab. I'm in desperate need of a paint job. I'm missing a tooth and an eye. please adopt me. The adoption fee is $5. But it was just too big. And I thought, I'm not going to bring that back. There's no way I'm going to try and bring this back with me. It was just like, but it was cute for $5. But that one sale that I showed you here, where he's got all the plush down here, the biggest thing about this was he had a bunch of other stuff. And this is some of what I picked up from that one sale. This is actually a newer, like 2000-ish. This is a Boba Fett thing. This is a Star Wars AT-AT Walker. It is filled in here with other Star Wars vehicles. He had this big, huge box of Bakugan, which, if you're not familiar with Bakugan, neither am I, and I'm going to have to get familiar with it because I got this big box here that I've got to go search through. Bakugan are these little metal balls that actually burst open in it's a fighting game. Now, the interesting thing, this has got tons of cards in it, all sorts of stuff like that. And he also had another bag, which was filled with Beyblades. And I got everything here. Literally, the Star Wars Boba Fett thing, he said, how about $1 for that? The plush, he asked a whole quarter on each thing. And then the most expensive thing happened to be the AT-AT, which he had $10 on. This AT-AT that he had $10 on. But everything in this box, plus a couple of these little phasers and a bunch of plush, they all ended up costing us a total of $20. I think that it might not have even been that high.
I think it was like $18. It wasn't funny.
Diana did really well with a lot of Bakugan in an auction. Carl says he's got so many Beyblades, I get a headache every time I try to learn them. Yeah. Well, that's just it. It's like you have to tire. It wasn't a little boy. He was like 23 or 24 and his dad. So this was his toys, but they just decided they needed to clear them out. Yeah, I was really happy. I thought it was a great deal for all of that, especially when I started picking up the plush and it was a quarter, and they were Build-A-Bears. So they're not worth a ton of money, but they're an easy flip. And for a quarter, I wasn't going to complain.
Like we needed more plush too.
I got a Land Before Time big plush dinosaur, and that Land Before Time dinosaur goes for about $40. I got another thing from a little chomping interactive rat that I can't remember what that one's from. It might be from Land Before Time.
Ice Age.
Huh?
Ice Age.
It's from Ice Age, and that actually we sold before for $30. And then a few Build-A-Bears and a bunch of stuff. Is that you, Rick, typing?
No.
No, somebody said popping over to say woof. Somebody on Facebook. Hey,
that is Nellie Karpinski.
Oh, I know.
And Lisa Irvin Wallace is watching.
Pulling out your hair, trying to look up and list all the Barbie clothes. You have to take an anxiety pill. Yeah, sometimes it's better to actually not even necessarily do a lot of work on them. And Lisa Boland will tell you she just actually had a set of Barbie stuff that she put up for sale and auction on eBay, and it was a mixed lot. And as a mixed lot, it wasn't the greatest in the world, but she ended up getting somebody who sniped in at the very end and ended up selling the whole lot for $95. If I would have priced it, or $90. If I would have priced it, I would have told her take that or that thing out, and the rest of the stuff. I mean, she had the stuff she had. It was the wrong head on the wrong body on a doll. It was just a sort of mishmash. But again, people know what they're looking for. So somebody looked in that and said, I see this outfit that I want. And I think that's what it was all about, is one of the outfits that she happened to have there. So that's kind of what I might do with the Bakugans, is I may end up putting them up and going, here's a bunch of Bakugans and see what I get for them. I might have paid a couple of bucks for that whole thing. So yeah, a lot of times you find Frankenstein bar. It's very true. You do.
The little yellow sticker on that shoebox says make an offer.
Yeah. Which I didn't even have to do. Sometimes you're lucky and you run across stuff like this. And we ran across this one thing, and it was all items are free. And on this table, I pulled aside and went, oh, look, there's all these really nice pottery. I pulled aside, and somebody got out of their car and took all of the pottery. So all that empty space had things on it when I took the picture. So there's me taking the picture. Oh, I'm glad that I'm not naked in the picture. That would be real. I would have been outside, so that would have been really bad. But I didn't even notice that I took a picture of myself taking the picture.
The chairs were too big to fit in the car.
Yeah, the chairs were actually too big to fit in the car. There were two of them. Again, this was free. That's a nice wing back and a nice other chair. But we just didn't want to take them and put them into the car. That was a little too big. Okay, let me see. I did that. Did this.
Were you wearing a kilt?
No, I wasn't wearing a kilt. And let's see. I did where I did that. So I showed the nutty stuff. Hold on. So I showed your cart. We also went to some garage sale or some other things, some other estate sales, found a few other things, found some other stuff at a couple of thrift stores. I'll show you. And so we're just going to take you through now in the next half hour, a bunch of the stuff. And then at the end of the thing, I'm going to show you the big find. So this happened to be one of the things we picked up in a thrift store. This was a horseshoe set that was at the Value Village or Savers for $5.99. And it actually is a full metal horseshoe set with the rules, and the pegs are actually underneath there. Can't see them, but they are underneath there. So heavy metal. Now, this is the type of thing that we always talk about looking at, and you buy this to flip locally. So this is actually going to go in a max sold auction for us. We had a 20% coupon off of this, so it actually cost us like $5, $4.
Yeah, that box weighs about 15 pounds.
Yeah, the box is quite heavy. That's for sure. We did also find, because of the Barbie movie, surprisingly, there was a lot of Barbie stuff. And I saw somebody just said that they just saw the Barbie movie. Or who just said that? I saw that. Somebody just said they saw the Barbie movie.
Here.
Oh, yes, it was great. It was, and we saw a lot of stuff. We picked these two things up. The silver vet, actually down here, that was actually picked up at the Nettie Simpson sale. Rick grabbed that for $15. And then I was at another sale and I grabbed this Dream Vet. And the one thing when you're ever looking at cars, it's nice to have the box. But what's also nice about it is when you actually have to make sure that the windshields are intact, because the windshields often become cracked. And that's actually, they're virtually worthless if they're cracked, because nobody wants to have a car that's got a cracked windshield or broken windshield. So we happened to check both of these. So I paid $20 for the Dream Vet. That's probably a little high. I think I should be able to get $40 or $50 for it. But the Silver Vet, it was funny that we picked up two things like this literally on the same weekend.
Yeah, but the Silver Vet was in pristine condition.
Yes, the Dream Vet's in really nice condition. Unfortunately, when I went to pick the Dream Vet up, I went to the table and the woman had some other pink box Barbies and some Kens and some Donnie and Marie's that were loose. And I was talking to her about the $2. She had $1, two boxes with $1 and one outfit in them. And I was like, how much do you want for this? And she said, I want $20 for that. I said, okay. And then I turned and looked at the Silver Dream Vet. And I got to open this up and see what you want, like what's that is. And she said $20 for that. And I said, would you take $30 for the two? And she said, I'm not sure. I said, okay, well, I'm going to open the vet because I wanted to make sure it was all there. I'm opening the box of the vet. I'm looking at it. In the corner of my eye, I see someone getting out of her car. Don't even pay attention. I turn around and she's picked up the two Barbies. So she was like, I said, oh, she paid her. And I was like, okay, well, here's your 20. I'm not even going to argue. I'm just getting this. And she was like, oh, I was going to get that. I said, well, you just took something out I was going to get. So there we go. We're both even. And I walked away. No, it's not that kind of thing. It was actually two different Barbie boxes. The outfit from one of the Barbies was in one of the boxes, but the doll wasn't. And the doll from the other one with part of her outfit was in there. And again, I would have bought it for $20 just to sell the pieces from. But it was just a fun extra little Barbie thing we got. Now, we're going to show you some of the other things that we picked up on the weekend. I don't know if you saw us in the craft group. We did a little thing where we did a preview. We did a little shopping while we happened to be in Value Village or Savers down there. And this is just something I wanted to show you because I thought it's not the type of thing I normally would end up picking up. because I thought, who would basically want it? This is Fiesta wear, which is normally the sort of plates and everything you're used to seeing. But I found this indoor-outdoor tablecloth, and I was like, oh, that's nice. It was $3.99. And I thought, well, it's new. I better look it up. Well, I looked it up, and they're selling for between $25 to $45. So it's a $3 item that I couldn't pass that up because it's brand spanking new. And I think I can flip it pretty fast for a good $20. So just because something looks new, or just think about things like the reason I grabbed it was because of the name, because of the Fiesta name that made me dig the extra thing to take a look and look that up. So always make sure you try and do stuff like that. At that same place that we were at, the guy who had all the stuff for a quarter, I have no idea. I didn't even look this up because I just thought, how much is this? And it all came into that one box for like $18. I ended up getting this. It doesn't fit me, unfortunately. This, which I can't know. So it's a Boba Fett. He's actually all over. The print is all over there. The 80 Boba Fett football jersey. I just think it's so cool. It basically looks like it's never been worn. Like, it's in amazing shape. Basically cost me 50 cents. So I wasn't going to pass that up. I just added into that box with the Bakugans to see what we were going to get in there. Speaking of, at the thrift store, I also found this, and we couldn't find this when we looked it up. This was an interesting pattern. This was actually $4.99. So there was a bit of Star Wars we picked up this week, and I'll probably do its own little video. I'm going to do its own little Barbie video, and I'm going to do own little Star Wars or toy video that are like shorter than the hour show for people that want to watch that. This was $4.99, but the interesting thing, this is a twin sheet that I have never, ever seen this fabric before in a twin sheet. It's real sheet, it's not fabric, and it's from Mexico, I think was where we found the actual tag on it. Right, Rick?
Yep, it was Mexican.
Like, it's Concord, Blanco Concord in Cochas, Mexico. So it's a real sheet, but I have never seen this pattern before. So it would make an amazing display of any kind, and I couldn't pass it up again for $4.99. So even if it's a newer Darth Vader thing, I'm not sure if it's a knockoff or not, Lisa. It does have somewhere on the thing, it does have the Star Wars thing on it. So, but I got to do a little bit more thing on it. You're saying not official. Again, I wasn't going to pass it up. So yeah, I have to do a bit more research on it for our sake. In the thrift store itself, sometimes you find stuff and you don't even know why you found it there. Well, look what I picked up out of Salvation Army. RuPaul, Little People. Now, I knew that they had come out with this. I'd actually seen it in a store. Seen it in the store and actually seen it in the Aurora Fisher Price store in Aurora, New York, East Aurora. But I had to pick it up because it was only $5.99 or $5.99.
Yeah, they're not particularly valuable, but they're
not. No, they're $25. I just thought that it was great. It's going to actually probably go on display in here for a little while. So there we go. I just thought it was great.
That's indoctrination, isn't it?
Yes, it's child indoctrination of some form or another. I'm going to show you something else now. Sirocco is a plastic decorative art form. Like, they make, a lot of people see them as, they're usually gold fancy wall sconces kind of thing. There are a lot of like fleur-de-lis, flourish candlesticks that you see in a lot of places. And at the flea market we went to, which is called the Clarence Flea Market, I actually found these, and these were Sirocco. But it was interesting because there's the Sirocco copyright, in case you don't know. But this to me was actually quite interesting because this is this really funky MCM set. Now, I paid $5 for the pair. There's no chips on it. And it actually is, the paint is really good. I'm not sure. I'm probably going to put these on Etsy. But it's such a cool thing because again, I don't normally see. There's only one person at Moms for Liberty anyway, so if she's busy, she's probably busy reading a book wrong, backwards or something. So this is what you could end up seeing. Never normally see them. And when I grabbed them, I thought they were chalkware actually, and then I picked them up and they were very light and turned them over and found that they were Sirocco. So just an interesting thing. Whenever you can find anything that's in that sort of mid-century modern kind of thing, they are Sirocco. There's actually the copyright right on the back there, but doesn't have the year. SYROCO, Sirocco. Let's see, Rick, your turn. Find something. You got something?
I suppose.
So this was from. Are you going to do the whatchamacallit?
Yeah, that's probably the
Christmas stuff.
Huh?
What are you doing? The Christmas stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So at Clarence, they have a bunch of little sheds where sellers put their things, and on the day of the sale they open the door of the little shed and they put stuff out on tables in front. And we walked past one display or one table, and they had two aluminum trees with the pom-poms in their boxes. One of them had a color wheel and the matching tree stand. And in front of that, there was actually a bin filled with Christmas ornaments, vintage Christmas ornaments. He wanted $50 for the entire bin. I rooted through it a little bit, found a couple of pieces I thought were kind of cute.
Well, we weren't even going to go back to it, though, were we? You said there are a couple. I don't know if you said this.
Aluminum trees, the pom-pom trees.
We looked at the pom-pom trees, and they were $350. And that's when I said, look at this. I get credit.
Yes, you do. So I've pulled a small assortment of ornaments that were in the box. The guy threw in a couple of extras. Like he threw in these felt ornaments. He had them priced at $5, so he threw those in after he paid the $50. I did pay $2 for these flat printed Christmas ornaments. I will take those out of the box later. He also had some of these sort of plastic ornaments. They're kind of inconsequential, but the nice...
You can't really see anything in those bags, Rick, just so
I'm
you know.
sorry.
No, you just chastised me earlier.
I did.
For what I was doing, so I'm just letting you know that what you're showing can't be seen either. You're not too fast, but yours are in dirty bags.
No, the trees were not $50. One of the trees was $150. And the other set was $350 because it was a taller tree and it had the base and the light.
And matching light. Not the color wheel, but a matching light.
Yeah. Okay. But this is one of the ornaments that made me go, ooh, we must buy the entire box. This is a made in Japan ornament, and it's Super Elf. Very cute. Other ornaments are, little sleeping elf, little gold lame princess.
They're so cute.
A sleeping puppy.
That's actually flock. That's a solid plastic with flocking all over it, too.
Yeah, it's adorable. I've never seen an ornament like this. It's actually solid plastic, but it's got kind of a...
You're off the camera.
Sorry, it's solid plastic with a pipe cleaner arms, and it's been sprayed with sort of a sandy paint. A little made in Japan dog.
There are probably 100 ornaments in here. Where's the stick things, Rick?
The stick things?
Remember the long... No, the long... Well, yes, there was a set in this box of...
One set of the candle huggers and an extra Mrs. Claus.
That's Lefton.
Those are Lefton. They still have their tags on the bottoms.
The icicles.
I will show those in a second. We have a couple of little clothespin elves. I don't know why they're doing that. These, I think, are phenomenal. They are little teeny tiny birds with clips that you put on the branch. And these are wood. An ice skating Santa.
Drag
And for
Santa.
some reason, he's wearing a skirt. But
It's drag Santa. We don't know why. He's off camera again, Rick.
I don't care. We have a set of these little elves.
Show the icicles.
Give me a second. I'm not done yet.
Yes, you're done. There's a lot there.
We have 3 of these. And basically
We get it. You found a lot of Christmas ornaments. We get it.
You want me to show these?
Yes, because I don't know what they are, and I didn't know whether anybody there has seen them before or what the proper name for them is or anything. This was all in this one box. These are long, twirly metal icicles.
Yeah, they're metal. Sorry.
It's like, is anybody familiar with the guy who had this said this was either from his mother's or grandmother's Christmas tree with everything that was in there. Yeah, we'll be doing a Google search for sure. And yeah, thank you so much. That was, yeah.
Look at how sweet they are.
Oh, you got a set of black. Well, they're kind of tinsel, but they're hard. They're literally metal. So
They are.
they're
You can set yourself on them.
10 icicles. There we go. Okay.
And then there was a set of these.
Okay, thank you, Rick.
Okay, you're telling me to stop. I will.
Yeah,
we
only have another 10 minutes and 15 minutes left here, so I don't want to spend the next 15 minutes with you doing.
Okay. Well, the next thing I want to show. The next thing I want to show.
This. Oh, I'm sorry.
We made out like bandits in terms of finding Jim Shore.
Not Jim Shorts.
Jim Shore.
Jim Shore.
Jim Shore. So this is a cute little bear. Sorry, camera. Bear riding a little hobby horse.
It was only $2.
He was only $2 at a garage sale. But that's the third piece of Jim Shore that we picked up. The first one was priced at $7.99.
He found this at Savers.
At Savers. And it is Cinderella's Romantic Waltz. I took it out of the box in the store. It is pristine. I don't think it was ever put on display. The second piece that we bought at an estate sale. And it's Dreams Come True. It's actually a musical statue. And I can't remember what we paid for it. It was at the end of the sale, so it was 20% off.
But we ended up getting it for 50% off.
We ended up getting
it was originally priced at $30, and we got it for $15, I think.
And there was another ornament that we were looking at, but pieces had broken off. And so our friend told us, just take it. It's so cute. I can't get closer.
Okay.
Oh, I can. Sorry. Puff the Magic Dragon.
Now, this is one of the things the reason that we're bringing this particular one up is because we always try to tell people, make sure you're trying to make friends. Make friends at your thrift store. Make friends with you don't have to make friends with your fellow resellers like Carl does when he's in the store. I don't do that. But you make friends with the people who sell you the stuff. So we always try to make friends, have a conversation. Right now, when we go back down into the U.S. and we go to some of these estate sales, Literally, we can walk into the estate sales and we have people go, woof, it's the Canadians. Hey, look, it's Bad Dog and Good Dog. And this particular sale, that's exactly what happened. It happened to be a lady that we had purchased from last summer at her garage sale. She was doing a garage sale with a friend of hers. And we were at that garage sale for about 15 or 20 minutes. We were chatting with them. It was like 2:00 in the afternoon, not a rush. We bought a bunch of stuff from them, but she remembered us. Then we saw her at a flea market like a couple of months later. And then we saw her at a flea market again this year in May. She was helping this place at the estate sale and said, you know what? If it's broken, just take it because we can't do anything if it's broken. I don't think we would have had that. I don't think we would have got the extra discount. No. She looked at her watch and said, there's 10 minutes left. What are we going to do? I'll give you a little bit of an extra discount. That's happened to us at a number of different places where we've ended up getting good discounts on stuff because we know that the people who, like, we always chat with them, we have fun with them, we joke around with them and everything like that. So it just happens to be a really good thing to keep you in mind. Not only that, but when you go to a thrift store, say hello, be nice to the people who are there. The people who are working there are working their butts off and dealing with a lot of people who are not necessarily going to be treating them well. Say hi to them. Say hi to the security guard when you walk in. And I can go into a couple of the stores I go to now, and I literally can say hi to 7 or 8 or 9 people who are in the stores. So it is. It's just being Canadian. No, it's just being nice. But everyone knows eBay Bob and Mrs. eBay. Elisa gives other resellers dirty looks. I do too. And I'm sorry if that song is now going to be stuck in your head. But that was listed in there as I think a $60 item because there were a couple pieces broken. We took it, we got it for free, and Rick's already fixed the 2 pieces, and it's about $150 music box, I think, at the end of the day. And in case you were wondering, that one that he had there, there's come true. It's been selling for $60-$65 as well. So it's a $30.
Look up the dreams come true.
Huh?
Look up the dreams come true.
And here's the dreams come true. 79, 78. And that's the one he found at the thrift store. So you never know what it is that you're going to end up finding in those places. Sometimes, and you find stuff, and again, we're going to mention this to you because, especially if you're in the States, you will know what this is. Because this is from a store in the States. Now, we have bought this. So Rick has a thing for nativities, reselling nativity sets, especially splitting out nativity sets. We talked a little bit about this in our Christmas show, our Christmas in July show. Well, what did we find? Last year, we picked up 2 of these. This is a set of porcelain animals, and it's the 3 animals. They're from a nativity set that was issued by a company that Canadians won't probably know about, the Bon Ton store, which is no longer around. We picked this set up, pardon me, for $7.99 for the 3. We have sold all 3 of these for, I think, for about $40 each.
Yeah, individually.
So we take this out and we separate them all. We've already sold 2 sets of these. We had 2 sets of them last year. One of the sets I got at a garage sale, and I told you guys about it. I just wanted to remind you again, if you see the Bon Ton, you see this kind of looks like a cheap ass little thing. You may go, decorations, who cares about it? It's not much on it.
They actually look pretty high end when you take them out of the box.
But split it up because somebody had a cow who busted a horn. Somebody had a hump off a camel. I don't know why it just got knocked off. And again, so this was an easy thing for us to, as soon as he found that, he just saw that from a distance and he just zoomed straight up to it and grabbed it, and right beside it happened to be one of the Jim Shores. We also find other stuff that we sometimes have to do a little more research on. This is actually something we found at the Nettie Stimson show. So I'm just going to show you this. Rick said, nah, I don't think we want to look at this. This is probably something we don't want to buy. This was a box, and it was filled in this box. And I saw this sign. It said, all cups, $5. And I thought, all cups, $5. They look melamine. So they looked a little bit like they were on the older side of stuff. They all look very clean. I didn't think any had actually been used. And They were by a designer named David Douglas, and they were called Acalac. Acalac. And we just go to this other thing here. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Design collection, David Douglas, made of genuine Acalac. We found that these Acalac cups have sold a set of 4 for $20 to $25. A single cup has sold for $10. This Acalac stuff. So it's actually really nice. And what we ended up getting, if you look at that picture, that entire box, which is 3 deep, I think. So almost 36 cups for $5. And so now you know why we go and buy this Acalac. You ought to know by now. When you see MCM in a really big box for $5, you grab it, because that's what we had to do. I'm getting ready. I've just done a draft of a set of 4 of these for $25 that's going to go on eBay in the next day or two. Lisa said, so you've heard of David Douglas. A lot of people, it's something.
They're plastic and won't break during shipping.
Yeah.
And they're light.
Let me just see what else. Oh, this happens to be in the same thing. This happened to be a different Value Village, but this was in our craft Facebook Live. I saw this at the back of a shelf and immediately recognized it as
Jim Shore.
Jim Shore. It's a stand for displaying things from the Heartland collection, $3.99. Selling, it's heavy, but it's sold are in the neighborhoods of $40 to $75. So again, keep an eye out for this sort of wood carved kind of look. That's what Jim Shore is all about, wood carving looks. The Heartland series, which is, this is from the Heartland series. I don't know if it says it on there or not.
It's out of focus.
Heartwood Creek. Heartwood Creek is not the best. It's probably the lowest end. And go to jimshore.com and you'll see. But there's tons and tons of licensed stuff. So tons of Disney things that can be really, really good flips. Now, I'm going to show something because Adrian's joined us. Doug is saying, because Adrian joined us, I just want to show, we always grab anything we can when it's small, and at this same place that I happen to be at Clarence, at the Clarence market, I saw this thing, and it was a table, and somebody was looking at stuff, and I saw them pick up My Little Ponies. And I thought, I'm going right over there. And I stood right beside them, and they were looking at the My Little Ponies, and beside them were these bags. So I grabbed these bags. This is bags of horsies, cowboys and Indians. And this is the thing that I thought was interesting. I think, I'm not sure which one it's in. This is something Adrian will see. Take a look at this. Tempo, Adrian. I think that's what that is. That two color guys there. That's what that looks like. So, I got all these, and I asked the lady how much this entire thing was. $1 a bag. Yeah, I think I will say yes to $1 a bag. And I will also say yes.
We were at an estate sale, and they had puzzles for $2. Make me bigger. Would you have bought this for $2?
So 2 more things to show you. One thing, and then I'm going to show you the big find. So is there anything else you want to show them, Rick?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot. So this was another one of Rick's. Rick had to have this.
I had to have this. It is a 21-piece set, hand-painted, lighted porcelain Easter village, Bunny Town. I opened it up. All of the pieces were there. It's just adorable. And I refuse to leave the store without it. It was priced at $10.39, and lo and behold, yellow tickets.
I said you're not getting it. I said it's too big.
Off.
I said it's too big for you, and it's bunnies. And he went, but it's cute. What's the color today? He yells up to the girl at the front desk who had threatened to lock us in because it was 10 minutes before they closed. And she said, yellow, why? And he went, yay! And I went, oh, God. So we had to get it. because it was $5. It's an
And
entire bunny village. I don't
it's
know
an
what.
entire bunny village.
I don't know if there's a value to it or not, but for $5, if it made him happy, it made him happy. You know what else made him happy? The strangest lamp we've bought in a goddamn long time. This is an atomic era Westinghouse heat and sun ray lamp. Now I showed you a quick glance at that. This is it. This is it on this. This is it on the thing. And this is when I showed you our buys. Where'd that picture go of our buys? I don't know where. I think I got rid of it. But yeah, so he saw this at a table, and it happened to be friends of the person that we met at the garage sale, at the estate sale that gave us the deal. But this is so funky. It looks like a bullet, and it actually spins around, and it works. He turned the heat lamp on me today for like 3 seconds, and I felt like I was frying. And then he blinded me with it for a few minutes too, which was really nice.
That was not intentional. I think we could replace those bulbs with just regular bulbs.
That's what we're thinking of.
Not have it generate heat or give you a sunburn.
But it does have a little switch on the top here. It says heat ray, sun ray, or sun lamp, heat lamp. He was not blinding me with science. It kind of does look like a spotlight or a stage lamp, but it is just an amazing kind of look to it. It's so cool. It's this atomic look to this thing. And it is Westinghouse, you can see down there. But yeah, we ended up having to pick that up, and we did pay a little bit for it. I think it's one of these things when Rick sees something that he really likes, and it's like, I really want this. Well, I dragged his ass out at 6:30 in the morning, so if I'm driving his ass and he says, I really, really like this, like the owl lamp.
2 lamps.
So he got the owl lamp behind him, and that owl lamp cost us 20. And the sunbeam cost us.
It was marked at 65. He came down to 45.
So we got a couple of things that are really nice. They'll probably both end up going into Facebook Marketplace. They won't be shipped. There's no way we're going to ship those. But now, to end the show, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our best fab find, and it's the best find I've had in a little while. And it just so happened to be about Barbie. We actually were at this street sale that I was talking about. We drove by this one street, and this is the little sign that was on the street. Not planning on going to it. This little sign, block sale. It was actually 2 streets over from where I had just got all of the Star Wars and the Bakugans. It was like we just saw a sign and turned. So this wasn't listed in Facebook. It wasn't on yard sales. It was just like, So we turn and I see that sign, and we actually look and I go, block sale, and we can see down the street there are no houses set up down the entire street except we can see one. And I go, I hate block sales that are not a block.
We got closer, and there are actually 2 on this side of the street.
Technically, I guess you could say it was a block. It did have a sale. So we parked the car. I get out. There's 2 sales going on when I get out. So there's the sale to this side of us. It's a huge, huge driveway filled with a bunch of stuff. So I get out. This side where Rick is sitting, there's 2 tables and an old man. So I'm going to this one, and I get out of the car. And I go and look at the stuff that's there, and I don't see anything. And I come back, and I get in the car.
I'm comatose.
He's just sitting there, like scrolling on his phone. And I look over at the old man table, and I can see the top of an old Barbie case. And I said, did you go there? And he said, no, I didn't go there. I said, why didn't you go? I said, I got to get out and go there. So I got out of the car. I go up to the driveway. As I'm getting up to the driveway, an older lady gets out, and she goes up to the end, and she goes to the Barbie case. I can't get near it. I'm saying hello to the dogs because I'm trying to see what she's looking at, because all I can see is a case. And this is the case that I see. I just see this kind of thing sitting there. And like a lot of times, this is like, we saw these at clearance, people wanting $10 and $20 and $30 for them. Cases that have no value. And a lot of times, 90% of the stuff inside them is no value either. And a lot of times they're empty and they're torn up and they're smelly and all sorts of stuff. So she's looking in this case, and that's all I saw from a distance. I saw that side open up on the old man's table. So I hear the lady and she's talking to him. How much for this? And the old man says, $50. And she says, would you take less? And he said, nope. Now, this is 11 o'clock in the morning. So the sale has been on for probably a couple hours. 11 o'clock in the morning. She says, you won't take it? He goes, no, some guy offered me 30 about a half an hour ago. And I told him, no, I'm holding out for the 50. And she said, are you sure? Will you hold it for me? Now, I'm still don't know what's in this damn case. And I'm standing like 5 feet away from it, but she's closed the case. So I don't even know what is sitting in this case. I just see a closed case. And I hear her say, can you hold this for me? And he goes, no. And she goes, and you won't come any less. He goes, no, I told you, $50. I had somebody offer me 30. No, $50. She walks about 3 feet down the table. So I got space. So I go to the case, I open it up, and I have never pulled $50 out of my wallet faster than I did at this point. Because when I got there and pulled out the thing and opened it up, this is what I ended up seeing. This case with all of these dolls in it. But the thing about it all is this one doll is a long-haired American girl that is valued between $750 to potentially $1,000 for this one doll who has amazing makeup, killer hair, no rubs to her lips, her eyes, or anything. Just amazing. And I'm not just getting that. I'm getting this entire case for $50. So I handed that $50 to the man, closed the case up. The woman looked at me like really like fast. And I just walked back to the car. And when I got back to the car, it literally was, start the car, start the car. It was,
yeah, imagine if I had gone up and bought it for 50 and then surprised him.
And surprised me, but he didn't do that. So
I did not do that.
This is the case that I got. And the thing, and again, the interesting thing is there's something even in here that could be just on its own. This is what's so bizarre is if you look at this picture on its own, this is a midge. She's got some green, which is bad. There's Alan, whose value has tripled since the movie came out. This is behind her is a scooter. This is a Skipper doll. They have some outfits in there. There's some pieces of outfits in there. And then if you look down at this little tiny thing where my thumb is, this is a white closed-toed spike heel for Barbie. That spike heel alone, that little tiny white heel, is an extra 1/4 of an inch taller than normal heels are and is probably going to get me over $50 for that one shoe. So I have to go through the whole thing in much more detail. But this is what I've got right now. I haven't done another thing with it. I just wanted to show you. It's all in here. We've thrown actually, there they are. This is all the stuff that came in the box. And again, this is the doll. She doesn't have any green ear at all, which is the thing you have to look out for. The other thing I always tell everybody when you're looking at vintage dolls is to make sure that they have their clicks on their legs. 1, 2, 3, and hold. 1, 2, 3, and hold. So she, great body, great face, great hair, great God Almighty. So I do have a Ken on a stick. So, but oh, there it is. Oh, there we go. Actually, oh, there's the other one. There's the other one. There's the spikes. Yay. Both spikes. So now that's a $125 pair of shoes. I didn't know whether I had both the spikes or not. I posted it in a Barbie board and somebody actually saw that. I hadn't seen it even yet. So yes, this is that was an amazing find for us and probably one of the best finds that I've had in a long time. It was interesting with the Barbie movie coming out. But what we can't understand for the life of us is how anybody for two. Like the woman wanted to pass that up. You open that box, you see a long-haired American girl. You see any American girl. You see 5 dolls. You see all of these dolls, and you don't want to pay $50 for them. And somebody offered him 30, and they've been sitting around for 2 hours. Oh, it was such a great little thing for me. So got more fun things, interesting things. I love that I had to buy it, that I don't even know why, but old carnival toys. I love things like that. Look at this guy. Look at this amazing little guy with his leash. The kind of thing you want vinyl. Only problem that he's got, Beverly wrote her name on it, and I don't know whether I'm going to be able to get it out. But again, this is something, again, a lot of people collect these from when they had these as a kid. So we're going to put together a couple of videos. Hopefully, we'll get to them this week. Next week for us, we are going to be on our way, hopefully, to Madison Bookville, which is a big, huge outdoor 2,000 dealer antique week, kind of like Brimfield. I guess it was meant to be bought by me, and I'm so happy. I'm not even going to get rid of the doll, probably. It's probably going to stay with us, but the other dolls will probably go away. Doggy. Susan Rose. That's from what the Toronto CNE, the Canadian National Exhibition. So you always yell. So we're going to be going to this next week. This is kind of what we're looking at. 2,000 dealers and vendors. Hopefully it's not going to rain. We have no idea. We have never been there before. We will be doing a live show on that Tuesday night. Our Tuesday Hall Pass will be live from there. We're going to post some stuff to Instagram and to the craft group from there as well over the days, like the Sunday afternoon, which is set up, and the Monday, Tuesday. Yes, Becky's going to be there. Becky's going to be shopping for her jewelry because we saw Becky when we went to Brimfield, but yes, we convinced Becky. I convinced this guy to go to this instead of the 127 yard sale. Yes, it does make up for other items people snuck away from me when we didn't.
It's all good. If somebody else buys something,
yeah.
We missed a violin by 2 seconds.
Yeah, we missed a violin by 2 seconds, but then got something else for $15 as well. So that was a vintage violin at a garage sale. So keep your eyes open. You never know. The stuff I'm buying, when I pay a quarter for something like this, which I don't even know how it is, what it does. I know that when you do something with it, it's supposed to go around, but it needs a battery, and like I think it's some kind of Star Trek-y thing. I don't know, but I have to look it up, or I have to ask Adrian. But I'll pay a quarter. I'll pay 50 cents. I'll buy something if it's less than a latte. I certainly will buy something for $50 that I know has a value of well over $500 in it. So hopefully you found some.
I'll be looking up my little elves.
And like Rick's little elves, he's going back to that. So we've lost him because now he is going to spend the next 15 minutes holding up things off camera. Like, and here's something else that I bought. And here's something else that I bought.
No.
Like this is something else I bought. You see this thing? And here's this other thing I got. It might be Flash Gordon. But thank you for joining us here on our road trip run, our road trip roundup, reseller road trip roundup. Again, we're going to be doing a couple of little videos that show you just our Star Trek stuff, or our Star Wars, the Star Trek stuff that we got, our back and gone from the one sale, and then we're going to do one with our Barbie stuff from another sale. We'll try and add them this week.
Maybe one for the Christmas ornaments.
And one for the Christmas ornaments. So we got three little mini things that we're going to come up, so we'll get better views of everything for you. But whether we get to them by Thursday, I don't know. And we have to head down to Madison Bookville again for this weekend. So it might be something that comes up sooner, a little later. Thanks again for everybody. And thank you especially to everybody who joined us, who is a Kennel Club member. For $3, we think we help you find stuff that you may not have looked at it before. And we think you give me enough little tips and tricks and things like that. We will be having a future show on 80s girls' toys, specifically for members. And remember, if you are a member, you can go to the community tab on YouTube, and you can check a link there for everything, including our Barbie doll show that we did. So we had a lot of fun. We probably spent $500 max, Rick?
Actually, it was only like
$400 for everything we saw there, and you missed a bunch of stuff that we also got. So amazing deals. It's always fun to do something like that, and we're looking forward to doing it again. Even if we keep some of this stock and it stays in our house for a little while, I still can't resist going out and shopping. That's the thing I have to do. Cha-ching, Rails, Dice Roll, Card Envy, Doug Butt, Doug, Snap, Cup Wolf. Thank you, Nelly. That's exactly the kind of way we want to end it. We hope to see you again very soon, and we'll see you in the craft group. Thanks if you joined us on Facebook or you're watching it on Facebook afterwards. Woof. I'm bad dog. I'm out of here. Good
I'm
dog.
good,
He's gonna
dog.
go play
I'm
with all
leaving
his.
too.
He's gonna play with all his little Christmas ornaments. And then we're going to see the Meg too. Woof.